The achievement gap is a statistical difference in test scores or grades between groups of students. These students are typically white students at a higher socioeconomic level versus students of color or of a different ethnicity like African American or Hispanic students who are living in poverty and usually test lower than the white students. I've seen this achievement gap working with children in an after-school program. I've seen children who live in a poorer part of the community. Then the school that they go to is not the best school in our district, and their test results really show that. The test results of the school show that as well. So my proposed solution is to bring higher quality teachers to those areas and those schools who need it the most. And this is something that I have actually discussed with people in my community before this class, would be to offer a greater compensation to those teachers who are willing to teach in these neighborhoods for a couple of years and help those students in that area try to close that achievement gap. I think this would be really helpful because, as one of the texts had said, the poorer areas in those schools are usually accompanied by underqualified teachers who don't have the greatest resources. So having higher quality teachers and experienced teachers in those areas who are better equipped to close that achievement gap in those areas, I think would be really helpful. The obstacles for that would be finding the funds and the resources to be able to offer that compensation to these teachers to come into these schools. I'm hoping by trying to do this that it'll help not only close the achievement gap with these schools like temporarily, but also in the long term, it would help more people in the community be able to find jobs. It would help the community turn into a better community, less crime, with people who now are able to have jobs because they were able to get that education. And so that's important to me because I see a lot of the cycle of poverty in my community with people who were unable to graduate school, and then they are unable to go to college to get an education and to get a job that requires a certain degree or a certain level of education, as most jobs do now. And minimum wage paying jobs keep you in poverty. So then that just keeps this cycle of poverty, because then their children will then grow up in this poverty and experience that same achievement gap that they've experienced.